All right, guys, welcome back to another edition of the ALG podcast. Today we have a really special episode. We are doing a roundtable discussion, and the topic of the day will be Weight Watchers. So, because we're doing WW, I figured the guest that we had to have on, the returning guest, is none other than comic Anthony Domenico of the WW, yeah, whatever, I don't give a fuck, of the WW Bro podcast, which, you know, if you don't know, is ranked on iTunes. We'll get that out of the way really quick. It's ranked. You might as well go listen to it because there's probably like five other people listening to it. And then today we also have a really special guest, someone I've wanted on the podcast for a while, Lighter Lisa Allison. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
We've talked to Anthony before, so if people are listening, and again, they know who he is, I don't want to hear his voice for a little while. So why don't you give us a brief overview of who you are and what you've done and where your journey has taken you?
Who I am. Okay, my actual name, my given name, birth name is not Lighter Lisa. It's actually Lisa Allison. I lost 150 pounds. Actually, I think my highest was 156 total. Nice. I started on Weight Watchers. That was probably how I lost about the first half of my weight loss journey was Weight Watchers. I'm still technically a member of WW, but about halfway through, kind of around the time that freestyle was introduced, it just stopped working for me. I really had a really hard time. I was just kind of plateaued, and I was so confused because I was doing everything right. My points were right. I was getting my blue dots. I was doing what I was supposed to be doing, so it seemed, and the weight was not coming off. And so at that point, I started double tracking with MyFitnessPal and paying attention to calories and macronutrients. And that was like a whole world opened up for me because I saw how I was misusing points and lying to myself about that I thought I was being nutritious just because I got, you know, I was staying in my points, so I should have been okay. But MyFitnessPal told me the truth that I was absolutely not okay, and that's why I wasn't continuing to lose. So once I made that switch and was kind of double tracking, I lost another, I think about 75, 80 pounds after that, and have been mostly maintaining. I think right now I'm down about 140 from my highest. But doing that through MyFitnessPal and using calories and macronutrients instead of points.
I love that. Real quick jab on that, because I hammered this so much. I love the fact that you had the ego to, hey, this isn't working. Let's look at the plan. Let's figure it out. Let's navigate it. And it's not like if this doesn't work, I'm done. So I love the fact that you were able to just like drop the ego on it, figure it out, and keep going. So I love that.
So my question is, what was that transition like? Because there's a lot of people who, you know, preach that gospel of WW. It's so great. You can eat whatever you want as long as it meets my points. And I'm okay with saving points so I can go to a restaurant and eat fried chicken, or I can go have, 4 slices of pizza because you know what? It fits my points, guys. It does. And I have this wallet of magical points that make no sense in the whole goddamn world. But you know what? If I hit it, I'm going to lose weight. It's science. There's nothing else behind it. These magical numbers it makes sense. So what made you kind of, I mean, I know you said that the points weren't giving you what you wanted, but how is that transition of learning actual nutrition facts and, calories and kind of how to fit that into your day?
Yeah. How it was on a personal level was am I allowed to swear, or we don't swear?
Absolutely.
We cuss up a
fuck bombs. You could do whatever you want.
Whatever you want.
It's super fucking awkward because I was working for WW at the time. I was a receptionist, and then I was a leader, and I was leading meetings and not leading the program. So I did the best I could, and I followed, what I was supposed to be doing, but I was steering it more toward mindset. Like I would always kind of find a way to bring their topic back to mindset, because I thought if I can at least get these members understanding that it starts within, transformation starts within. My kind of theme word, my mantra was the word unstoppable. On Connect before I got kicked off, which is another story.
What is Connect for people that don't know really quick?
Connect was Unstoppable Dimples. That was my name, Unstoppable Dimples. So I just grabbed onto that and I was like, I'm not stopping. I don't care. I'm figuring out a way through this. I'm not stopping until I reach my goal, however I get there. That eventually led to me not being able to work for WW anymore.
Wow.
Connect is social media for like on the app. Like if you're a WW member and you have, you get the plan on your app, it's called Connect, and you connect with other members who have, are on. It's like basically a social media platform.
Is it local or is it international?
It's global.
Okay. Oh, it is. Okay,
Global.
cool.
International.
Cool. Anthony, are you ranked on Connect? Are you like
it's a dick. You really are.
I was
2000 Mets hat. And
there actually are ranks.
1997 headphones, and you.
All right, Sally's. We're gonna pull it back here. Bunch of friggin' rascals.
It'll be a long day.
He's gonna storm. It's not gonna go well.
All right, Lisa, because you're serious, and we're not.
Yeah,
I'm not that serious.
What is Connect like? So it's like a Facebook vibe.
Connect is actually really beautiful, and I would not have I would not be where I am without Connect. I give like all props to that community. I think that what Weight Watchers has above everyone else out there is community. That's like the main thing. And Connect liked me back. I ended up being the #1 followed female globally on that platform. So I had a lot of love on Connect. I poured my heart and soul, kept, years of posts and daily posts over and over, poured my heart into it even before I got into Instagram. And then, am I allowed to talk about scandals?
Absolutely.
Fire away.
Bring it on.
So what happened was, I was sharing in my Connect posts, I was sharing my Instagram handle because I was wanting to build my Instagram, and because people leave Weight Watchers. So if they leave Weight Watchers and they don't have access to Connect anymore, they can't follow my journey anymore. So I'm like, if you want to see what I'm doing, you're going to have to come over to Instagram, and then you don't lose me no matter what. That's logical to me.
Right.
Well, Weight Watchers didn't like it, and they gave me a warning, and they're like, you need to stop doing that. And I'm like, okay. But everyone does. Everyone, you can scroll through the posts. Everyone puts links to their Instagram.
Now, do they hide it like between emojis and like they just no? It's just out and about.
I don't know.
It's out there.
I don't know.
I do it.
I don't know what if they have some magic, some camouflage that I didn't have, then props to them. But so I got a warning, and then they banned me permanently. So I'm permanently banned from Connect for sharing my Instagram, when all my Instagram ever did was like point people to Weight Watchers. So that was real frustrating for me. And it actually happened right after Oprah used my before and after, like my transformation pictures on her 2020 tour, like her national tour. So like my pictures were on like the Jumbotron at the Barclays Center. So it's like they can use my transformation when it serves them.
Right.
But if they think I'm trying to take something away, like trying to get people to follow me on my Instagram, then I get like blacklisted. So as if I didn't already have like enough frustration with the program not working how I wanted it to, that was like.
So we're talking to a real Weight Watchers outlaw here, which I thought Anthony wore that hat pretty well. Before we pivot and continue this conversation, I just want to give Anthony the chance to reintroduce himself to those listening and give a little brief overview of who he is, what he does. I mean, you have to know who he is. It's Rank, so you know.
You know what? You're gonna get it. So I started WW again May 1st of 2017. I was 583 pounds, and that scared me more than anything, because being close to 600 pounds would have been like, you watch that show, My 600-Pound Life, and everything just gotten hard to do. Mobility, walking, breathing. Any part of life was just almost impossible. So I made that change. My best friend Nick, we both walked in the door that day, and since then I've lost 205 pounds.
Let's go.
Yeah, so
that's awesome.
I still have a long way to go. It's, if you do the math, I'm still well over 300 pounds. But just everything has changed since then, as far as like, being able to just go do things, walk around a park, shovel snow. I had to shovel snow here. We had snow here in New York, so I was shoveling snow.
Hey, I can shovel snow. This is so.
Hey,
oh,
that's a
damn
huge
it. Now I
NSV.
gotta shovel snow.
It's a big NSV because when I used to go shovel before, I'd shovel for 10 minutes and literally
Right.
have to go sit for 20
Mm-hmm.
because I get up again, and it took me like 4 hours to shovel where it took me a half an hour to do in front of the house.
Right.
Just everything, being there for my nephews and my niece, being able to watch them and take them places, and all these great things that have happened from joining WW and losing the weight and continuing to lose the weight. So in January of 18, I wanted to give something back to the community. Like Lisa spoke about the community, which is the best part of WW. Like, they are so welcoming. The people in that community are like the best people I've ever met in my life. They are so welcoming, and I wanted to like give something back and connect with them even more. So I started the WW Bro podcast, and I give the ups and downs of my weight loss journey, and sometimes it's hard to get on there and talk about when things don't go my way. And it's just been a really fun ride, and it's coming up it'll be 4 years in May. So still looking forward to continue with the journey and losing more.
Yeah, man. I mean, I've been on your podcast. It's awesome. I've actually listened to it, and
You're supposed to be on Monday, but that's
I am.
I don't think it's gonna
I am.
happen.
I will be on Monday. This crossover continues this Monday on the WW Bro podcast. But when I met Anthony, because we have actually hung out in real life, we actually hang out quite frequently now.
You're on Instagram, yeah, you'll see that. Yeah.
Yeah. He was not doing Weight Watchers the way that I thought that he was doing Weight Watchers. When I met Anthony, I was really afraid. Not afraid. Afraid's a bad word to use. When I met Anthony, I was nervous in the fact because we were going to go visit a friend. We were going to go visit Gormy, and I wanted Anthony to feel comfortable with however he wanted to eat. The point system, the whole spiel, the poison that they pump into your brain about points. But then when I met up with him, and he was doing, at the time he was doing intermittent fasting and all that good stuff, I was very surprised. And on the way up to Rhode Island, we had the conversation that I like to have with people about the point system and how it doesn't really mean anything to me, and how he told me that he was tracking, which I was super surprised. And then that's when he had actually brought up Lisa to me, who was doing it as well. And I was like, wow, there are people that know that, it's like, whose line is it anyways? The points don't mean a damn thing,
Well, I hit a wall. Yeah. I mean, I hit a wall about 200 pounds. This last year has been kind of a struggle. And I dipped below 200 pounds down. I got down to like 180 something again. I was down 180 something again. What happened was, like my buddy John Ziegler said it to me. He goes, at 583, all you had to do was just eat less and wiggle your legs. You would have lost weight. I mean, at that point. So after I hit 200 down, it was a struggle back and forth. It was like I plateaued. It was like I was on maintenance, and it was definitely I was eating too many calories. But like those magical points,
Yeah.
And those zero, especially when like things like Greek yogurt or non-fat 0 points. There's calories in that. There's fat. There's everything in that stuff that you're consuming. Fruit has a caloric value. Sugars in that, and fruit.
Right.
So all these things that like are
beans filled with
chicken.
carbohydrates are
So
zero.
The one that was most fascinating to me, I got it. This one just blew my mind. One of the programs said potatoes were 0 or
I
1.
love it. That's my
Purple.
favorite program.
I'm
Purple.
like,
yeah.
the one I'm on now. I'm on
What?
purple now. Yeah. And the reason I went back to purple is it's less point because it's less points, but now that I'm counting macros and calories, I don't go crazy with the carbs. And
yeah.
Lisa's actually the one who taught me about macros and calorie counting.
Oh,
and
okay.
I was very open to it. As I
Yeah,
usually am
when
about
you were
things.
on our
Were you?
podcast the first
Were
time,
you open to
No,
it?
not at all.
Were you? Don't
No.
come on.
Because he was drinking the Kool-Aid. All what mattered was the fucking points. Right?
Well,
He
I don't like.
became open to it. He
Well,
opened up to it.
And I
That's-
did. I got back down over 200 pounds, and it's just a different lifestyle. And I double track. I track on WW. I track on this, and I just look at it as like like Batman having another tool in his utility belt. Like it's another thing that I could
100%.
add to it. I was doing intermittent fasting for a while, but it just after I had like my oral surgery and like it kind of it was weird. Like I couldn't not doing it for a little while. I kind of fell off with it. And now being back at the gym, I work out after work. So it doesn't really fit into what I'm doing right now, but I still like track that, but I still get like, 13, 14, 15 hours in between eating.
yeah,
Like,
and intermittent fasting is such a overly dramatized thing. Like obviously it has a little bit of a benefit, but like
the cool kids are doing,
Well, yeah. If
No, they're not
OMAD.
anymore. No,
Oh,
that's not what the
OMAD,
cool kids are
man.
doing anymore. Now it's intuitive eating.
I don't know what that. What's that mean?
we left intermittent fasting, and now we
It's
intuitively
all
eat.
about intuitive eating.
So if you
intermittent fasting is so 2019.
Yeah,
Oh
it
my
is.
gosh.
It is. So now the new game is, hey, if I feel like having a Reese's peanut butter cup, god damn it, I can't keep my body from having what it wants, so I'm gonna have it. We're gonna talk about it, and then if I feel like having a bag of chips later, I'm intuitively having this bag of chips. It's not like I'm destroying myself. My body's telling me, hey, this is what I want.
I've been doing that since 1979.
That's what I'm saying, brother. I've been doing this since '93, and you know.
Oh my gosh, that's a whole different episode. But intuitive eaters are so funny to me. Like, there's all these nutritionists like, yeah, we need to teach people intuitive eating. I'm like, I could intuitively always eat.
I'm gonna sound really old here. I'm gonna sound like the get off my lawn guy, but this is the culture we live in. When every kid gets a trophy, everybody
Yes,
wins.
Right.
Everything, you know.
Yes.
It's
Restriction's a bad thing.
You too can feel like you're on a
no,
journey by
he
calling it
can-
intuitive eating.
Yeah, like I'm on a diet, but yeah, I deserve the cupcake. Yeah,
Right.
I mean, are you on it? What are you doing? Like, listen, I have my moments. I go off the rails and whatnot, but I don't think I deserve. I didn't go to the gym this morning and be like, hey, you know what? I deserve a donut. I worked really hard and I'm intuitive and I feel it and good for me. Like, let me get a
Exactly.
star.
Exactly. And it sounds like this was the whole reason why my diet failed in fucking 2005. Like, it was the same thing.
So when I was on this is years ago. I was on and off the program, you know, before I got serious with it. So like I did it just because like people would say, "What are you doing?" "Oh, I'm doing this." So one night I go to, you know, after a comedy show, I feel like I was intuitively feeling like, you know, a big Wendy's order. So I'm on the phone with my buddy and he's like, "What are you getting?" I'm like, "Oh, my Wendy's. I'm gonna get a salad and a chili." "Hold on one second." I thought I put him on mute and I ordered like 2 Baconators, fries, like
Amazing.
nuggets and like a Frosty. And then all of a sudden, like after I said, he goes, "You know, I'm not on mute, right?"
Oh yes. Oh, that is so.
That was intuitive
priceless.
eating, so it was okay.
You were. It's fine.
If it was
It's-
now, it'd been it'd been
Yeah,
fun.
you would have been great. You would have been.
Yeah.
You're doing the right thing.
Did you do the Wii thing? Did you order for Wii?
Oh, that's what I was about to
We're
say.
gonna have.
Yeah, we're gonna
have. We just need like 2 pizzas. We.
Yeah.
Hold on. You grab the phone. Like, hold on. She's texting me now.
Oh,
Let me see.
Yeah.
What,
That's
What,
hilarious
what
to
did
do.
you want?
Kung
What
Pao
did you want?
chicken.
Yeah,
Yeah.
cheesecake.
Wait.
Awesome.
Lo
Wait,
mein.
what did he want? Oh yeah, I need another. Yeah, he wanted a 7 with no pickle, and
Exactly.
you'd have to order 2 drinks, just not because you wanted
I
it.
was literally just going to say, and you have to get 2 drinks so they know
Yeah.
it's not just you.
Exactly. And they have to be different drinks. They always have to be different. drinks.
Dr. Pepper and she wants a Sprite.
Yep. She definitely wanted a
Give her
Sprite. Yeah. Yep. Yep.
I can't do.
And can you make sure her cookies are in the bag? Because last time she got really mad when I came home without her cookies. So
Yeah.
please make sure those are
All,
in the bag.
all,
Warm 'em
all
up.
10 of
I'm
them.
crying.
All 10 of them, please.
Please make sure they're warmed up. Yes. No, yeah, I'll have double bag. You could double bag it. It's fine.
Yeah, I just pick my fingers like, wait, no, she wants cheese on the fries too. All right, I'll hang up now. Like,
I'm literally crying right now. All right, we're back.
So since
At least we know we're not alone.
We're on this.
No.
Oh, there's so many people
This is
right
like
now
a-
going,
this is like
"Damn
a
it, I thought I was alone."
phenomenon,
yeah.
right? It's
Yeah.
a big phenomenon. It's not just one of us. So
Oh
that's
no.
okay.
Hell no,
it's
all
always
of us.
inside. No matter how much weight we lose, it's always there. It's
Intuitively, it's always.
It's
intuitive.
always there.
Yeah.
So how has so I was on Weight Watchers. I was on Weight Watchers a really long time ago. I was like 13 when I was on Weight Watchers, and I will always remember being, 1, the only guy in the room, and 2, I will always remember being the youngest person in the room, because when I started Weight Watchers was for like the older generation of women who aren't necessarily you know, like morbidly obese. Yes, were there morbidly obese women in there? 1,000%. But it was more geared towards, you know, older women who just had to change up their lifestyle a little bit. And it was very cut and dry. It was, here's your points. This is how you get them. This is how you use them. Here's the going out guide. Here's the going to McDonald's guide. Here's the going to Wendy's guide. It was never change your lifestyle to have a more fulfilling life, which is why I felt like Weight Watchers didn't work for me. And then I remember a few years back it changing, and it was like that whole freestyle thing. And now when the freestyle thing came out, is that when they came out with the 3 different plans, or did that open the door to there being different
That
plans?
opened the door to it. That's the most recent thing they've done. But they've also, like, you talk about that whole thing, like it's not for. That's one of the good things I think they're doing.
Right.
Is that it's more they're getting in tune with like wellness, overall wellness, and changing
Right.
your lifestyle. Because I joined the first time I joined, I was 10, and it was the same thing. I went with
Right.
my uncle Joe, and then when I went back in 2003, it was the same thing. It was like the points in here, and they didn't really talk about changing habits. They talked
No.
about more just hitting your points and losing weight and everything. And where I think they got it right with the, they're not focusing so much on weight loss these days, which I don't like, but I do like all the things they're doing for getting your mind right. That's the one positive thing they're doing.
So you think that there's a more mental health aspect to Weight Watchers now?
Yes, and I needed that because when I joined in 2003, the first time as an adult, I was 24 years old.
Right.
In 2 years, I lost 150 pounds. I was the thinnest I've ever been as an adult up until now. I weigh more than I did then. But I never changed my mindset. It was literally just, and I stopped everything. I stopped going out. I stopped drinking alcohol. I just did everything that was fun. I didn't want to be around anything. All I did was this for a year and for 2 years. And then the first time I went somewhere, I went to my cousin's wedding. 2 weeks later, I went on a cruise. I could not get back on track because I just wanted, it was like, imagine like never eating salt and having French fries. You're like, no, I want that all the time.
Right.
And that's where I think that they've changed now for the better.
Okay. But where does their mental health aspect come into play? Because like being a person on the outside, I don't see that end of it. So
yeah,
like,
I don't know what
where
that means.
where does that wellness end come from?
As far
Are
as
they teaching meditation?
So like
oh
what are
yeah,
they-
no, on the
so-
app they have Headspace. They teach meditation.
Okay.
It kind of teaches you a healthier relationship with food, which I didn't have. And I always went into anything I started as there's going to be an end date.
Right.
And-
Same with me. Exactly.
This is kind of like, what I've gotten from all of this, from like, just the meetings, the workshops, and the community, is that no, this is it, and making me come to grips and be okay with I'll be doing this forever. That's where
Okay.
really for me.
So now, can I ask you both a question? Do you think living a sustainable, healthy lifestyle? Now, again, I said lifestyle, not diet. Can you do that by having to count points for your whole entire life for everything that you do? I'm asking you a
Lisa,
serious
yeah, go
question.
I think so. I would think
You think so?
Well, that's what macro counting is.
See, I don't look at it the same way as that.
I do.
It is, though.
It is. That's the same thing. I think that's kind of a cop out, but
I just believe that if you are a person who struggles with food, if that is your issue, I don't know that is ever going to completely go away. And I think in order to maintain your weight, you're going to have to deal with the fact that you have to pay attention and be mindful and track. And to me, track doesn't, we associate that with WW, but I still call it tracking on MyFitnessPal. I track my food.
Right, of
in
course, yeah.
MyFitnessPal. So I think you have to keep track if you're going to stay in control. And I have just come to peace. It's been 5 years now, 5 years this month. It's part of my life. Like, and I tell my coaching clients, there's a lot of things in my life that I don't like doing. I don't like writing my big ass rent check every single month. Not my fave, right? I don't like washing the dishes or scrubbing toilets, but I do it because it's my adult responsibility. Like grow up and do your responsibility. So we know how to do things that we don't feel like doing. Who said that this journey is about everything you feel?
adulting.
Motivated. I don't feel like it. I know it sucks. Do it anyway. Like
Right, that's accountability.
So
Yeah. Exactly, because that's what I would say. Because like same thing with like money. It's like there's plenty of people. If you don't have a system for how you deal with your money, you're gonna be broke.
Exactly.
Are you attacking me, Dave? Is that
Shots fired.
Yeah.
Shots
So-
fired.
so
Wait,
you
hold
mentioned-
on. I thought your ranks means you're making
Ranks.
money.
Oh, he's
I'm
making
a-
bread.
He's
I
got to
was
be
ma-
making money.
No, the other night we went to the cigar bar. He bought me like a $40 cigar. He was
I
like,
did
"Don't
not- I bought you
worry."
a
He said, "Don't worry, Junior, I
$9
got
cigar.
it." And then he put a $100 bill in my breast pocket and said, "That's for later."
Peasant.
did not?
Yes, he did.
I bought him a cigar. It's like $10 because
He
he
bought me a grape Dutch. Right? Let's be honest. That's what he's.
please. I would never give you anything
I
like
know,
that. I gave you a
I know.
quality one.
Yes, he did. It was a hot cake.
It was actually
Anthony
a
hot
cake. It was
cakes.
actually the cake you can 0 point cake.
0 point cake.
There's only one 0 point cake. It's a HVC hot cake. And
It was
you
delicious.
have to smoke it though, so
It
it's
was,
not.
it was very delicious. Lisa, I actually you said before that you do coaching. It was something that I really wanted to talk about, so we might as well talk about it now. You do coaching within the Weight Watchers like sphere? No, okay, totally off
No,
Weight
and
Watchers.
this is why I think they really kicked her off a Connect. This is my
Oh, so we're gonna get into some juicy shit. right
Oh,
now.
so you were coaching on top of Weight Watchers?
Oh, you can't.
Like
Oh,
that.
they were. Yeah,
You
not
can't
a
double your.
chance.
You
You're-
can't double toast. You can't
Yeah.
double butter your toast.
No, I wasn't working for Weight Watchers. That's not what happened. So,
Okay.
I left Weight Watchers as an employee and made the decision. Was barely sticking my toe into the realm of coaching. And my Weight Watchers employees, my Weight Watchers manager was
Yep.
basically like, you're gonna have to make a decision. Like it's a conflict of interest. We have coaches too. You're gonna have to make a decision. And I was like, okay. I think that they were saying like, you're gonna have to shut down your Instagram. You're gonna have to shut down your website, like all these things. And I was like, well, you're not even paying me I can't even support myself on what you're paying me. So I'm gonna have to do this. And at the time I had 3 clients and I was making like $500 a month on my own coaching. And still I was like, I'm not shutting my stuff down. I'm betting on me and have been able to build that into a successful business completely separate from Weight Watchers. So
That's sick. That's awesome.
Yeah, so that's why I think they use the Instagram handle as an excuse because I look at it.
Yeah, it was an
as-
easy scapegoat.
Well, here, because in the comedy world, that if you play in certain places where there's another club, even like here on Long Island, there's 3 clubs. If you play, let's just say a smaller venue like a bar, they don't like that,
Right.
and even though they got 3 places sold out on the weekends, they're worried about what you're doing. That
Yeah.
at a smaller scale as far as not as many people and this and that, and they look at it as competition. No matter how like the wrestling world, Vince, how
Same
Vince
way.
McMahon is
Yeah.
with any little
Even
thing
indie
that
wrestling's
comes
the
up.
same way. If
Yeah.
you work for another independent promotion, you're gonna get looked at. You might not get a booking. Because one promoter doesn't like another promoter. Just how
Which
it
my
is.
is-
issue is that they pick and choose. Like it's who they choose because there are WW ambassadors on Instagram that also have coaching businesses on the side.
Oh, I'm sure there are.
And it just gets like overlooked. So
Mhm.
I don't know if they saw me as particularly offensive, particularly threatening. I don't really know, but I definitely feel like I was sort of like made an example of.
So was that? I mean, for lack of better terms, is that when you stopped drinking the Weight Watchers Kool-Aid, or was it before that?
it was before that.
It was before that. What really made you stop drinking the Kool-Aid? I'm gonna ask the hard-hitting questions that you probably don't want to answer, but
I think that it is a really difficult company to work for.
okay.
I think that employees are undervalued. I think that they do not pay a livable wage. It's very hard to get enough time, like hours, to get benefits or anything like that. They've never been on like the Forbes 500 best
No.
companies to work for. It's not a great. It's not great. So
Didn't they fire like half their employees when the pandemic started?
yeah, they
via
can't. They
VAA,
that was after
voicemail?
me. I left probably like 3 years ago now. So I haven't been part of any of that drama. I'm glad I got out when I did. But yeah, I mean, I had like my manager was not good to work for, was not uplifting to her team. It just was not a great experience. And that's probably not true of everyone. I think there are
Of
probably
course.
some great it's just people,
Right.
so there's going to be great managers and crappy managers. And I got a crappy one. And
So where did that conversation open up between you and Weight Watchers to become like an official Weight Watchers employee? That was just you going to meetings constantly, having an amazing success story, and they were just like, "Hey, Lisa, we really want to, take you under the wing and see
No.
how you could." No.
Yeah, I think it's
I think
the
they got-
resume and you do it.
no. So they had just introduced, I was very much still on my weight loss journey. So
Okay.
for decades, WW has had the rule that you have to be at your lifetime, like your goal weight in order to work for Weight Watchers. when they introduced what is now the green plan. It was
Mhm.
called the original Smart Points.
Yes.
The mentality behind it, the tagline was Beyond the Scale. When they introduced Beyond the Scale, they changed the regulations so that you only had to have lost 10% of your body weight and kept that off for a certain amount of time. So I was the first person in my entire territory to be hired still on my journey. I think I was like maybe 260 pounds at the time or something like that. Or 250 maybe. I was very much still on my journey and terrified how the members would respond to seeing like the first fat girl weighing them in, right? Because they were used to everybody at their goal. But the members were amazing, and all of like the bigger people would wait to weigh with me because they felt more comfortable weighing with someone that was
I
in
used
it
to do
with
that too.
them.
I'd always weigh in.
You know, we used to have the little name tags, and they would be people. It was like, "Hi, I'm Terry, and I lost 10 pounds in 1986," and you're like, "Cool, Terry, I'm 400 pounds. Like, leave me alone." Like,
Exactly.
you don't know shit about my life, Terry. Like,
Exactly.
So
Listen, when I was on Weight Watchers, the people that used to weigh us in was 2 70-year-old ladies. Like, that was not fun at all. I felt like my grandma was weighing me in, and then she'd be like, "It's okay.
Yeah,
You'll get it
grandma.
better next week. Next week, it's okay."
right.
So,
Did I finish it? I don't even remember the original question.
No, the original question was how did they kind
Yeah,
of
how'd you get
like come
employed?
to you and say, "Hey, do you want to be an employee?"
Oh yeah, so I applied.
Oh, okay.
I wanted to. I was eyeball deep in the Kool-Aid at that point. And I wanted to be part of the team. And it was I will say it was a really important part of my journey, but working for them. And I was trained well. I learned a lot about the program. And honestly, the training that I got learning about the program has made me a better coach today. So I'm thankful for that. I'm not like totally bitter. I just think that there were a lot of things that have been severely mishandled by this company. That's what I
some
think.
big red flags or big. Yeah, it's like you normally if someone has nothing good to say about someone, it's probably more of their issue than it actually the situation itself. If someone doesn't have the ability to go, you know what, they did this and this and right, but it's too much because they did this and this and this that I don't want to deal with it. But obviously they're good here, here, and here. It's like that's the big thing to me. When someone goes, it's all someone's fault, you're like, there's more to the story.
There's always two sides. I'm actually still in a text thread with two receptionists that worked one of my meetings. We were all super tight, and we still to this day, and we haven't worked together in like 3 years, and they're in like different states now, and we still text each other every now and then for accountability. We'll text our weigh-ins or just be like, "Hey, how you doing? You still on plan? Where are you at?" So I mean, I mean it when I say that I wouldn't be where I am without Connect. I wouldn't be where I am without WW, and I'm grateful for all of that. But yeah, some other kind of messy stuff too.
So Anthony,
some snarky business stuff that always gets
a little bit of snark. I'm a little burned, but it's okay.
I could see that. I could feel that.
Can you?
Anthony,
Yes.
I know you have a great little tift that you have with WW.
What tips? What are you talking about?
You have a little issue. You have a little issue with how it's run and how they treat their ambassadors and the way you become an ambassador. From my perspective, all right, let's just call a spade a
No,
spade.
I don't have a problem with the way they treat the ambassadors. I sometimes don't like how they pick the ambassadors.
Well, yeah.
But that's more just me wanting to be one. Some of it's sour grapes, and some of it's like, because especially this last year, they've had ambassadors where they went on and Facebook posts and seen they weren't posting, some very controversial stuff, and they took it away. So I don't think they do the research sometimes. I think they look at, followers and this and that. But here's the thing though, I was told by them when I was up in the headquarters.
How does that work? Real quick, I just want when going with that. When you say them, like, are you emailing Weight Watchers?
No.
It's like what's
I
this
had done some
process?
stuff for them. I had done some stuff for them at headquarters.
Okay.
I spoke at a product meeting. I did some other things for them. And I was
Oprah
told
knows that face, okay? Oprah knows that face and that face. Oprah knows both of them.
I was told that the reason why I was picked was they're trying to reach out to more of a male demographic. And it's true though, like you had said, like it was the stigma of Weight Watchers. It was, old ladies sitting in a room, just chatting it up. But It is a great program. You know, we could there are great parts of it. I listen, it saved my life, so I can
Yes.
never ever hate this program. I don't like some of the ways they're going with it because I really do wish there were more weight loss.
Mm-hmm.
And there are other companies out there that are doing basically the same thing they're doing, but incorporating macros and calorie counting with it because it's a simple science. It's calories in, calories out.
It's more
And
sustainable.
And I don't like this whole thing is like, you know, just eat the cookie, just eat. Yes, don't ever deprive yourself, but like, let's get it back to what it is. I joined it because at 583 pounds, I didn't want to hear just eat the cookie because I was doing that already. I knew how to eat the cookie. I know how to eat
I knew how to eat the cookie.
I don't need someone to tell
I
me.
got that
"Hey,
step down."
Yeah. I needed help. I was like, you know, my life was on the line. So when I was up there, they said you fit all the criteria of what like we want to like market towards. And then I hear through the grapevine that, you know, I'm not clean cut enough. And I know what it is. It's my podcast. I speak openly and things I like and dislike about it. They don't want people to do that. They want, you know, it's part of the ambassador contract is that you have to, you know, I'm not going to call it Kool-Aid, but I'm just saying like, I speak my mind about things I like and dislike. I am a comedian, so I do have jokes out there about WW. I have, you know, jokes that maybe they don't find, you know, that would, if people Googled them, they wouldn't, you know, it would be kind of, they might be in a little hot water. Not that it's controversial. It's just like, you know, people can get offended about anything these days. So I think that's part of the reason. So I, you know, I let it go. I'm a big Bouncing Souls fan. That's my favorite band. And something sticks out to me from when I was a teenager and I bought one of their albums and I opened it up. And, you know, when I grew up, it was like the MTV era. Like MTV was the thing. And they were a punk band, never on MTV. I opened up one of their albums and it was the MTV logo with like a circle and a cross going through it. And it said, fuck the industry, do it yourself. And I still think about that today, like what, you know, what I want to do. Yeah, listen, they asked me to be ambassador. I'm not going to lie. I probably would accept it. I just, you know, it's something that I've wanted. I still kind of want it in a way.
Because just to have it, just to put the notch in your belt and tell yourself that you did it, or because you want to help influence other men like you who are stuck in this spot?
I would say 90-10. 10% that, yes, it was a goal and I want to achieve my goals. But yeah, I want guys to know that there is other options out there, that there are, you know, things you could do and just because like, you know, it is like when at my workshop, I am one of the only guys there, especially my age group.
Right.
And
it's still cut up like that. It's cut up into age.
Well, I look at it like, you know, usually the men that are in my workshops, they're in their 50s, their 60s, they're or 80, they come with their wives.
Right.
Or usually any guy comes is there because his girlfriend dragged him or something like that. And it's, you know, it's a program that it's a weight loss program. And I wanted to help break down that stigma. And I thought that's what they wanted me to do.
Right.
And I still do it now, but like, it's just,
I think there's another component too, though, Anthony, which is like being asked to be an ambassador is like a recognition that you have been super successful on this program. You've been promoting this program and representing it well. And it's like an honor of an achievement and recognition from this company that we felt loyalty to. And I don't think that part of it should be minimized. Like you, in my mind, like find me a male ambassador that lost over 200 pounds. Like that's fucking inspiring.
And there's other guys out there that lost 200
and also
pounds.
like find me what kind of clean cut, like, you know, I'm Dave and I'm gonna, you know, it's like, that's who's going to Weight Watchers? Like most dudes out there.
There he is right there. You literally described him. He's right in that corner.
You literally
right
described him. Yeah, you described him.
I'm going to be that Weight Watchers guy. Hi guys.
You just said the funniest thing ever.
My dad's a cardiologist, and Alyssa,
Bro,
I lost 200.
Can I get a contact info, please, for Weight Watchers? Because
I have 39 polos, and I play golf.
My parents have a place in Florida, in a condo, in a complex.
We vacation in Florida, Sarasota Springs. It's lovely.
It's lovely this time of the year. I wear a Movado watch.
And I enjoy a nice bowl of soup.
So what we've learned today, class, is that David Roden is the
Would be the ideal ambassador for Weight Watchers.
All I'm saying is lots of guys have tattoos, and maybe we could bring the tattoo guys into the meeting room and have some representation.
No, I think it's needed. I don't think see that, and that's always been my tiff
Sorry, Dave.
with.
Oh no, you're good.
That's always been my tiff with Weight Watchers. I feel like that the common folk is not represented there at all. Like,
Yeah, my dad, it was funny. Last Christmas they were rolling out the new plan that's now. So they were like promoting it.
three fucking things.
They were having commercials for it. And my dad's like, what the fuck is this? Look at that.
Right.
Who gives a shit? This person lost 12 pounds. He goes, you lost 200 fucking pounds. They put you on the commercial. But they're not looking for that though, because the majority of people don't have to lose. And I understand on the business.
Yeah, it's a
side of
market
it.
share.
The majority of people don't have to lose over 200 pounds. So,
but that's not true. I'm sorry, that's not true either.
I don't think I agree that's not true. And you got to play a long game. You get one person in that door that has 200 pounds to lose. That's a customer for 6 years.
Bang.
You get somebody in there that has 10 pounds to lose. Okay, see you next month. They're going to be done.
They've been getting $45 a month from me since May 1st of 2017. They've made a penny on me. They made some, and in the products that I buy, because I do actually enjoy some of the products. But I get where they're coming from. I look at it both ways, and part of that is the comedian side of dealing with the rejection. You're not what they're looking for, so I get it on that end. But listen, I think if I had a company, and like if I had a weight loss company, and somebody had lost 200 pounds,
that's who I'm putting
and they
up
were
there.
not what's coming in the door. I'd be like, no, listen, if you're out there, here's a guy, here's somebody doing it. So I thought that I would be tagged for it, but it's not at this point.
Can I tell you a story about when I was working for Weight Watchers?
Yes.
So one time, the studio was closed. We were like changing the materials, and it was the transfer. Oh, I missed something.
I said it one time at band camp. Like, okay, so that sounded like I said this one time at band camp.
One time. That's not the story I'm going to tell right now.
I
know. So they were doing the transfer, like the transition over to like the more wellness program. I think at the time I was down about 120 pounds, and people were starting to say the things to me like, why aren't they putting you in a commercial? You're stunning. Why are they using these people? I don't understand. Like I was getting so much, especially on social media, of like, why aren't you an ambassador? Why aren't they using you? And so we were switching over the like posters and the stuff hanging in the wall, the displays and everything. And I open up this box and I pull out this like full size, cute little blonde girl. And down in the corner, it's like, Wendy lost 11 pounds on Weight Watchers. And I swear to God, I pulled it out and I was like, fuck you, Wendy. It was just like, where are we going with this?
Yeah.
Like, where is it really? Like, this is what we're doing? Like,
and this is my stigma with the company. I feel like they turn their back on
the line,
it.
and they need real help,
I'm there to lose weight. I got to lose weight. That's my, that's my goal.
Absolutely. And then no offense, as a person who needs to lose weight, I'm not looking at Wendy who only needed to lose 11 pounds. I'm looking at Anthony who's trying to fight for his life and he lost 200 pounds. Yeah. And that's the problem that I have with a program that says we're here to change your life. We're here to make you transform. We're here to make you have a better relationship with food. No, you're here to make sure that Sally fits into her fucking wedding dress because her wedding's coming up in a month and a half. And you know what? She went a little OD on the pudding.
And but you know what though? I'll never minimize somebody's journey. And
True.
As far that 27 pounds to somebody might feel like 200 pounds. And
100%.
Of course.
I don't minimize that, and I understand what they're doing as far as with putting somebody. Wendy lost 11 pounds because they want somebody who feels like I just want to lose a couple pounds.
But Wendy's not coming back. Wendy loses her 11 pounds. Wendy's gone.
Oh, she goes for free.
Well, yeah. First of all, she has such a tiny. She had a tiny goal. So yeah. But I'm saying.
Can I speak on that for 1 second too?
Yeah.
I just want to also say Weight Watchers is a business.
Of course.
So if the program worked so well,
this is what I was about to say.
Everybody got to lifetime and was at their making money. They would make $0. Yes. It would be free. So there is unfortunately a business benefit of being like, fit the cookie in. Like
Yeah,
it's
Mhm.
like
100,000%.
it's
And
like a
that's what I was
little
about to
enough
say was-
success to keep you coming back, but not enough information.
But you got to show that one fat guy who went from super fat to decently, you know, not fat. Like that's just what it is.
What was the? I had a meltdown once. They on my podcast. They posted something. I forget what it was, and it was like food. And what was it? It was
Sprinkles?
sprinkles. They posted put
When you're
sprinkles on it.
You had such a meltdown that I know about it. That's how
I
big
had a
it was.
meltdown on the
Yeah.
podcast. Like sprinkles. You telling me to put sprinkles on like my protein pancakes or any, you know, and sprinkles. It's sugar. It's all just sugar. I gave my
Yeah.
nephews. I put sprinkles on their hot cocoa bombs, and they were climbing walls like spider monkeys. It's all sprinkles. It's all sugar, and this is what you're telling people to add. It's
Is
okay.
sprinkles
That's,
zero
that's what I
points?
was about to say.
Is that what it is? Sprinkles is 0 points?
No, there's sugar.
I'm
sugar
sure
because
it's-
points go by sugar. So it's not. I mean, you could fit.
Oh, there's a
and-
science behind points now. They're not
always
just
was a science
Oprah
behind
doesn't
it. No, there was
sit in
always
the
a
room and
science
throw a
behind
dart
it.
at the
There's
wall
always
and
a-
it's
no.
like,
There's
all right,
a-
pizza's
Stop it.
There
There's
was
always
always
science.
You knew there was
There's
a
a
science.
formula. There's a mathematical
There's
formula.
always been a formula. Stop it with the right away.
But
Oons,
the one thing,
poons.
the one thing I would say, going off of the points of like where you're marketing, whether my assumption, and this is from the outside perspective, if they had a clear cut way to help the average 200-pound or 400-pound person lose 200 pounds, they'd market to it. But they know they can't because it's not
Right.
sustainable.
Well,
That's
yeah,
my
I mean,
thought.
because if
They
you're
know
not
they can help a
counting-
15-pound person, 15 pounds, but they can't guarantee based upon their system to lose 200. So they're not going to market to it because they don't think it'll work.
Well, I did the math as far as like what I was eating, and I was eating close to probably 3,000 calories, a day.
But you got your
Um,
blue dot, so you were doing so good.
But
You
I
did really well.
and I didn't. You know what? I didn't even hit my blue dot because as my weight, my age, and everything else, my points were so ridiculously through the roof that I could eat all day.
Yeah.
You know, it's
Mhm.
so that's where I think they need to really look into this and kind of be like, no, we have to add calories to it. It had to be a factor. You have to.
That's my big thing with them. They need to start teaching, you know, the people involved how to read a nutrition label and why it's important, and just there has to be some caloric threshold. Just
Well, because they
was.
do, like, because remember, like, going off of the conversation, the points are basically off of protein, saturated fat, and calorie. Like
Well, it's
those, those
calories,
And sugar.
saturated fat,
and
Calories,
sugar,
saturated
protein.
fat, protein, sugar.
yeah, that's how they make their point system. Well, the issue with that is obviously where like potatoes is 0.
which
Like you're
makes
just
no
like,
fucking
wait,
sense to me.
you're telling me I can eat a whole bowl of potatoes and it's 0 points? Like, what do you
and
what do you
to pl-
mean?
To play devil's advocate, so let's just say you're on purple, you get the least amount of points. So some
Mhm.
people get like 16 points. So if when you start eating like other things outside of that, it goes very quickly. So, but yeah, like oatmeal 0 points on, whole a lot of oatmeal 0 points on purple. That's
Fine,
it. So,
yeah.
But I feel like they
Brown
don't
rice.
preach.
Brown
don't-
rice,
brown rice.
whole wheat pasta.
Oh my gosh, I could just make this freaking mound, a little bit
Right.
of chicken on it, and I'd be eating 4,000
I
calories.
saw a post on Instagram. This girl was like, WW Purple Plan. And it was like a mountain of air fried French fries and like sugar free ketchup. And she's like, 0 points on purple. And I'm like, that was like 7 potatoes worth of French
Yeah.
fries.
Yeah.
What are you doing, dude?
Right,
Like, what
but
are you
that's
doing?
my thing. I feel like they don't teach that. Hey, you could still
Yeah.
gain weight on 0 point food.
Well,
0
you
point
would
doesn't.
love it. The pasta you're always hacking. You'd be like, hey, eat this whole wheat pasta.
It's,
0
first
points.
of all, it's not whole wheat. It's made of lentils. Let's get one
Lentils.
thing right. It's one ingredient, and
And fuck
you could stick it up your ass.
He was trying to give those bags away. We were in. He's like,
I was trying-
We were driving up.
Hold
to
on, can I tell a
Rhode
story? Let
Island.
me
He's
tell a
like,
story.
He's like, hey, cousin,
I'm
you
a
like
good
pasta?
friend.
You like lentils?
I'm a
I'll
good
give you
friend.
20 bags.
First of all right, go ahead, air me out, and then I'm gonna tell the real story. Everybody,
that's it.
You
He's
done?
like, hey,
All
go
right,
with me.
you're
You
done.
want pasta?
Okay, cool.
Pillow.
Now
We're
it's
gonna
my
sleep on
turn.
pillows tonight. We got pasta
It's
pillows.
cool. It's all right. It's cool. You had your time. You're done. Good. All right.
Good show,
So
man.
me being a really good friend, I got blessed and I got sponsored by a pasta company
You wanna
that
keep
makes
saying
their
rent, I'm
hold
gonna-
on, that makes their pasta out of just lentils. Now, me being the same really great friend has another great friend. His name is Anthony. He has a very similar background to myself. We both come from an Italian American community. We both really love pasta. Now, my friend Anthony, he's also on a weight loss journey. So I said to my friend Anthony, I said, hey, Ant, You miss pasta? Yeah, John, I miss pasta. But you know what? I'll still eat a little real pasta every now and again. Sometimes I have whole wheat. Hey, Aunt, let me put you on to this one ingredient pasta. I think that'll really benefit your life. Wow, go fuck yourself, John.
I
Go
didn't
fuck
know. I
yourself.
didn't say that.
Sounds like you're selling Herbalife.
Yeah.
No, I'm not. I was really just trying to show my friend a product like an old washwoman being like, hey, instead of Clorox this week, tried fucking Tide. Okay? I really like it. It makes my clothes feel really soft. Fuck you.
Yeah, all I gotta say is the Joey Soprano came out in full force right there.
Yeah.
Who's Joey Soprano? There's no Joey Soprano. Let's
Yeah,
move
who's
on.
Joey Soprano.
It's Tony.
Tony, Joey, it's all
Fucking
the same.
Skip. All right? The motherfucking
Tony
fucking one who
Soprano.
calls the
Joey
shots.
Soprano,
Me.
Tony, Joey.
He was only
Gabagool,
talking about.
0 points.
Gabagool is 0
Was
points
that all
every day of the
0
week,
points?
twice on Sundays.
So it was like 6 hours of lentil pasta. I was losing
6
my mind.
hours
It
of
was
lentil
one
power.
conversation.
It's
And
like,
I was being a good friend.
he's like, hey, cuzzy, maybe we'll go to the 7-Eleven. They got hot water. I can dip it in there for you, show you how it is. Well, I'm like, nah, that's all right.
I will never, ever, ever try to bless you with anything ever again. Ever.
All right, family, we're bringing it back.
Oh, they.
We have derailed.
We've derailed again. We're bringing it back to Weight Watchers.
I literally just got a text from someone in the house who was like, what the fuck is happening?
He's very passionate about his pasta. I get it. Listen, I understand. Lentils.
Oh, he's about to walk out. He's about to walk out on the podcast.
Nah, I would never. No.
So, bringing it back to Weight Watchers.
How's he?
So, I
lentils?
guess one of the things that I would love to have the conversation about, because we kind of got into it a little. So, obviously, their greatest strength is a community and support system.
I think so. Yes.
And their greatest weakness is what? Uneducated, the truly not the depth of education within
Yeah.
nutrition. Obviously, nasty business tactics, but that can be a whole different thing by itself.
No, but they do. And here's the thing: they're not neglectful on nutrition. They do push you towards the reason why fruit and vegetables first became 0 points is because they're pushing you towards that than eating a 100-calorie pack.
Mhm.
Same point value, because an apple was 2 points and a 200-calorie pack that's like cookies was 2 points. So you put that in front of my face, I'm going to go for what has chocolate on it
Yeah.
every time.
Whatever you
Right.
incentivize, you're going to do.
It was an incentive. It was kind of like pushing you towards have the apple because it's more nutrition. It's better for you. It's more natural sugars. It's this. So they do push it, but it's a little lax in the fact of what we're talking about as far as calories and that stuff, like the caloric intake. There's no cap on caloric intake.
Mhm.
Right.
And anything I read that I've researched, it's calories in, calories out. So that's where I wish they would get more strict with it. That's my side of it.
So what do you think?
also the algorithm? Oh, sorry, you go. ahead.
No. Absolutely. Go ahead, please.
I was just gonna say, I think also the algorithm that they use for assigning points gets really out of whack when you're heavier.
True.
Yeah.
So once you get, upwards of 300 pounds, which I was, they just give you this absurd amount of points. And I
Yep.
remember I had one member, a young man that was close to 500 pounds. And I think he had I want to say 80 points, 78 points
Yeah.
a day. And I remember looking it up and I was like, they are giving him permission to eat 5 Big Macs a day.
Exactly.
There's no way you can eat this much food and have success. There's no way. He can eat whatever he wants and
That's what
he's
I'm
going to be
saying.
on program. And I just was like, so I straight up told him, I was like, I pulled him over afterwards and I was like, bro, you're not going to lose weight on this many points. I'm like, if it was up to me, I'd put you at 40. And he was like, seriously? And I was like, 40. He went in, the next week he did 40 like I told him. Every single day, didn't use any weeklies, went only up to 40. and I think he was down 8 pounds that week or something, which he
Yeah.
was bigger. So it was okay for him
Mhm.
to have a bigger weight loss like that week. But yeah, he had been doing the program. He did the program
Right.
that was given to him and the weight wasn't coming off because they gave him way too many. It was too much food.
Yeah,
It's too many
on
calories.
green I get close to 70 points. If I do the algorithm now, I get close to 70 points. Blue is I would say 60 something points, and then purple. That's why I chose purple. I get 35 or 37 or something
So
like that.
which is the one that has the most amount of points? Because I have a friend
Green.
who green. Okay, so I have a friend and he's close to 590, 610 maybe. and he had started Weight Watchers. He was very, very excited to start Weight Watchers, and he had watched a lot of my journey unfold. And he was very excited to tell me that he started Weight Watchers. And I was like, hey, man, that, he told me, and I was like, man, that's awesome. You're really putting your foot in the right direction, blah, 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 blah. And of course, I would never bash anybody who's trying to start anything in order to benefit their life. But when he had told me how many points he was allotted, like he was almost allotted like 82 points or whatever the case may have been, it was a fuck ton. And just like you just said, that what you said to that young man, I literally turned to him and I was like, hey, bud, don't ever try to hit that 80-point threshold and think that you're going to lose weight. Like, you're not being taught caloric deficit. And once you get down to a certain level, come back to me and I'll try to help you any way I can. Stick to your program, but I'm just letting you know they're letting you have way too much. And you're at a point, and I see this all the time with people that start Weight Watchers. My stepmom's on Weight Watchers, and she swears by the program. But it's so easy to go around things. Like, it's so easy to find that loophole to create what you want to fit within, what you're allotted. And there's no measuring, So like, I know there's
a lot of measuring.
No, but the common person is not measuring. You follow what I'm saying?
You slip into like what you can get away with.
Right. And that's what I was doing on Weight Watchers.
What's the best choice for my body? What's going to be the healthiest, the most nutritious, the most sustaining? What's going to be the most? Instead of focusing on that, it's like, what can I get away with?
Right. When I had the going out guide, and I was when I was still addicted to pizza, I would find what commercial place had the lowest pizza points, and then I would go there and I would stuff my face with as much as I could.
Again, I think it also at the end of the day, it comes down to the person. Like, how bad do you want this? What do you want to do? And all these things are just vehicles for you and tools to do that. And listen, there's loopholes in anything. There's,
of course,
and we will always try to find those loopholes, because at the end of the day, we like food and we want to eat. We want to eat the things that we, grew up eating and or snuck and ate and all that stuff. So I think, like, for me, like, getting on WW was first and foremost just like calming down. Like, okay, let me get something's got to hold me accountable.
Right.
So I was accountable to that app and my points. But as time went on, like you said, I got to a point where, like you were talking to your friend, at a certain point, he's going to have to start thinking about caloric deficit. And that's where I was. And Lisa was good enough to reach out to me. We're friends on Instagram, and she, said, don't take this the wrong way. Maybe try this. And at first I was very resistant, because I was holding on to,
the gospel.
The gospel.
Yeah.
And Lisa was very kind to give me a free coaching session, and gave me one-time free coaching session, and taught me about macros and what I should be eating calorie-wise and this and that. And you know what? It got me back over 200 down. And when I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing, it works. Absolutely. 100%.
One of the couple things I want to add, I think goes really well into this, is it is interesting because most programs, when you're building a system, like a business, for example, even like when you do your TDEE calculator, like you're figuring out you put in your height and weight and all this kind of stuff into some generic calculator, and it spits out 4,500, 5,000 calories because you're 500 pounds. None of these systems takes into effect morbid obesity.
No.
Like there are very few. I think that's one of the things that is so interesting is morbid obesity has a lot of nuances to it. There's the mental side of it. There's the endocrine system of like you start getting into like what is the root cause, because like obviously calories plays a role, don't get me wrong, it plays a major role, but there are plenty of people who their basal metabolic rate allows them to eat 4,000 calories and they're just fine, and then there's other people that eat 2,500 and they start gaining weight. So like there's still some of this. Exactly. So like that's the whole thing that is so important for people to realize on every semblance. It is vital, especially when you get into the morbid obesity space. You got to make sure you are getting adequate results from people within that realm.
Right.
Because it's a different game. It is. It's just whether people want to hear it or not, obesity is a different game than losing 20 pounds.
You're right on that. Because when I before I started doing what I'm doing now, I would just track my calories. Like, okay, and when I put my information into my Fitness Pal, they gave me 2,300 calories a day, and I was still tracking my calories, like what I was eating, but I was still not losing weight. And now I dropped it down to 1,800 calories. The most I eat is 1,800 calories in a day.
Who
So
told
it's
you to do that?
someone just kept on messaging me, very annoying about it.
Wait. If you're at like 1,500 calories a day, it's gonna lower your basal metabolic rate, and you're gonna be stuck for the rest of your life.
No.
You have these newest nuance things. Oh my
This-
gosh, this is
and
the nutritionist coming out. Like, oh
and
my,
here's-
they're talking about this under eat.
Oh.
You're so full of shit.
No, and here as a food addict, as a, you know, I know I'm a food addict, somebody who loves to eat and can eat from morning until night.
I feel that.
1,800 calories satisfies me. I get my, I hit my macro targets. I, you know, get everything I want in for the day. Like, I eat plenty of food, and I cut myself off after dinner. Like, that's my thing. I'm like, okay, after dinner, I don't need to eat anymore because I've had my food and I'm good. And guess
Right.
what? I'm not hungry. It's my body's okay.
Because hunger doesn't necessarily mean food. That's always this funny one to me. That goes back to the whole issue.
Hungry, thirsty thing.
Yeah, well, no, that's the issue with this whole new nuance of intuitive eating.
Oh yeah,
which is
I'm
like,
always hungry.
oh, well, if you're hungry, your body's telling you need it. Bullshit. Like, I'm 400 pounds. My body doesn't need shit.
Yeah.
Actually, my body was always like, come on, let's keep this going. Let's see
Yeah,
how long
exactly.
we get this
Like,
up
don't
to."
give me this crap
Yeah.
that your body needs these calories. Like, you're full of shit. That's
Body's
why.
like,
What is body fat? Body fat is stored energy. That's what it is. Like, that's pretty much what it is. And so
Lot of
don't give me this crap that it's like a necessity. But no, I think that's going off of Weight Watchers and that final nuance. Even when you get in calorie counting, macro counting, all this realm, obesity is a different game than if you need to lose less than 60 pounds compared to anyone who has to lose over 200. It's just a different game. The body is not the same.
But what is geared for that? Is my
Nothing.
question. Obesity is such a problem in America. We literally have an epidemic of obesity in America. Let's call
Yes.
a spade a spade.
Mhm.
What is geared besides, and now I'm someone who had bariatric surgery. I'm very open about it. I talk about it all the time. I don't give a fuck what you think about it. Now, besides bariatric, exactly. No, Tweedledee, Tweedledum. All right. WW Bro Podcast. Besides bariatric surgery, what is aimed to the common everyday morbidly obese person? Because if you put in a group of, if you put 20 individuals in a room, probably 85% of them are morbidly obese. Probably
well,
more.
I know every doctor tried to get me towards that.
Right,
you know.
but here's what I'm saying. That's the only is that the only answer to
No.
sustaining a
No,
healthy weight
yeah.
loss?
I don't think so.
But what
The best is
program
macro counting.
offering that?
There's no best of anything. It's
Yeah.
it's the individual. It's a person. Like,
So
as
then
you
let me
see-
ask you something. Both of you, would you recommend Weight Watchers right now? Forget everything you hate about them. Would you recommend it to a morbidly obese person who has more than 200 pounds to lose?
No.
No. Flat out no. What about you, Ant?
You know what? I would, just because I was that guy.
I guess
would-
we'll
and,
put it this way: with the one thing I would say to add to that question is with no outside resource.
No, I
Right.
would give an asterisk. I said, listen, you should definitely do this for the community, and you're not alone. But like you told your friend, at a certain point, you're
Yeah.
gonna have to start thinking. But I think here's the thing: for somebody who's so far gone, where they're just literally eating themselves to death, it's a shock. It was I lost 15 pounds my first week on WW because it was such it was a shock
Yeah.
of that, like what I was eating and what I was taking in. So I think I think it's the individual. Like, what is this person's mindset like? I would like to talk to I would have a conversation with them. And if I felt that they were like on the verge of like, they can't do anything more than just type in Apple into an app and track it. Yes, that's the program. That's where you should start. It's almost
so
like
simple.
it's a batting cage. That's what, you want to put in the baseball terms. It's a batting cage. It's, you're not good. It's not real time as far as like, learning how to hit curveballs and
Right.
sliders and this and that. You got to get your bat speed. And for me, that's what I needed. So if I met somebody in my situation where I couldn't walk from a parking lot to a comedy club, Yeah, that's what got me going and got me further into it. And then I lost weight, that motivation got even more and more and more. And I wanted to know more about other things.
Mhm.
And, you know, so that's where I think you'd have to still go into it with an open mind.
Mhm.
That maybe not forever, but it would really depend upon where that person's starting off from, where they starting to Jump Street.
I want to
I agree.
elaborate on my no instead of just like a blanket no.
See?
Okay.
If 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 someone came to me that was morbidly obese and said, I'm so excited, I started my weight loss journey and I joined Weight Watchers and I love the community, I would be like, that's amazing, give it everything you've got, if you need any help, I'm here for you.
Right.
That's how I would respond to that. If someone came to me and said, I don't know how to get started, I've tried Weight Watchers in the past, I'm thinking about doing keto, I don't know what to do, I would say, honey, download MyFitnessPal and I'm going to get you set up.
Right.
Like, that's if they're asking me what I think the best method is, that my answer won't be Weight Watchers. If they tell me I picked Weight Watchers and I'm getting going, I'm going to be like, awesome,
yeah,
that's how
of
I got
course.
started too.
Of course.
Does that make
So
more sense?
the one thing that's very interesting though too is, so I won't say her last name, but Denise is a woman I've known my whole life. It's like a family friend. She's been a Weight Watchers for got to be 20 years. And she's lost and sustained over probably like 170. And she's at goal weight. She's probably like a $140. But she was pushing probably 300 to high 200s. And she sustained it for 20 years now through Weight Watchers.
Well, that was going to
So,
be my follow-up. Go ahead.
she sustained it, and she was definitely obese, and she's done it. Now, just like any plan out there, there are success stories, and what's the percentage of success to failure? But they don't. Weight Watchers has morbid obese transformation success stories.
It's definitely possible. I'm not saying that they're
For sure.
totally yeah, exactly. I'm not saying they're totally
Both of
selling
us,
snake
right?
oil. They're not the snake oil salesman, but in your opinion, and this for both of you again, is Weight Watchers teaching a sustainable lifestyle or are they teaching a temporary diet?
Sustainable lifestyle, I think. I mean, because there's no end game. Let's just talk about the program. Not we like, we don't like.
Yeah, of course.
You join WW, you're in that community and you go to your workshops and you have your coach and meeting. So after you hit your goal, you go on maintenance. And once you go on maintenance, you go on what's called lifetime. So, just from that aspect, yes, it's a lifetime commitment. That's really what they're trying to teach, what they're teaching you. And I think it's, there's other things to me that are fad diets that like, eat these bars for 7 days, you lose 25 pounds and, good
Juice
luck to yourself.
cleanse.
Or like programs like Jenny Craig or like, where you
Nutrisystem or
yeah, like that kind of stuff. That's not what WW is. I mean, I look at it like, it is a lifetime commitment to it. And that's, I don't think they're trying to teach sustainable lifestyle. And I think that's also where they've kind of veered off. They got too sustainable,
Right.
like, oh, eat the pizza, go to this and do that. Where you have people like me who I didn't need to hear eat the pizza because I would have went.
Right. I already ate it. Yeah.
And I'm glad I joined when I joined at that time before they changed over, because I got kind of the last leg of the whole, this is a weight loss company.
Right.
And it's not that it's, it's a they say they're a wellness, wellness that works. So it's more of a wellness company.
Oh, that's the WW now. Wellness works. Is
no,
that it?
It's WW, but their slogan when they did that was wellness that works.
Okay.
Which is great.
I think I agree. Like, I think that they are teaching sustainability. My question is it successful sustainability? So
Right.
Can you count points? Can you count your 82 points for your whole life sustainably? Yes, of course you can.
You can, but
it doesn't mean that you're going to be successful at it. So we're looking for the balance of what is a reasonable, sustainable lifestyle that I can commit to. I know for me, I can't commit to keto. I can't commit that for the rest of my life, I'm not going to eat a carb. That's not sustainable to me.
Right.
But so I think they are working with sustainability, but erring away from success of the actual program. So I would just be like wanting to look for the middle ground of that. If that
I
makes
see
sense.
that.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
they're
like
more
that.
about creating a long term, I mean, as lack of a better term, customer than they are. Now, again, we're talking not zero. I don't give a shit about their results. I just want them to be on forever. When I'm saying
Oh yeah,
zero,
no.
but like they lean more towards let's keep them on than
Well,
let's
yeah,
restrict them to get it to a goal.
that's the business side of it. Anyone
Yeah.
listening who's thinking about listen, the people that work there are amazing. The
Oh
people
yeah,
that
every individual I met who was involved with Weight Watchers is amazing.
my coach Barbara is absolutely amazing, and is the reason why I went back the second one. Because there have been coaches where I don't like. I didn't go back. Over the years, and she was awesome, and she told it like it was. She didn't. Didn't stick to the script all the time, and she didn't like something. She said it, and I still, now they're doing like the Zoom work. I still went to all her Zoom workshops, and now that we're back in the studios, I'm even though it's on my weigh-in day, I'm still gonna go because I want to be in that community
Right.
of the people that I miss from.
Well, that's what I
my
like
old group.
is the tightness of the community that you all
And
that Weight Watchers provides.
yeah, and the people that work there, the guides that weigh you in, they're so supportive that it's just so I agree. I don't like the business side of WW. I don't like the what they're doing like that. But the people, they have some great people that work there. So on that, aspect of it, the face to face to me is great.
Do you
I
think that they
we
blurred the
always
line
said
too
that
much?
from the beginning, like that it was that
Yeah.
the community is the best at it's like where they
Right.
shine. WW shines with community, and for sure, my leader was amazing. She's still a friend of mine. I think I was a good leader. And then I mentioned earlier that I'm still in touch. Like that community
Mm-hmm.
lasted for me years later. I'm still in touch with so many people that I met on Connect, that I met in the workshop, like in the studios.
All over the country.
So
yeah.
absolutely, like community is nobody does community better than WW. Absolutely.
So tell me a little bit about life after WW now for you, Lisa. What are you up to? What are you doing?
So I mentioned that I own a coaching business. It's private. It's not connected to WW. There's been a lot of I get a lot of Instagram DMs of people being like, "When's your WW Zoom meeting?" And I'm like, "That's not what I'm doing." It's not. I don't.
Yeah.
So I coach privately. I have 3 coaching platforms. I do one-on-one coaching calls. I have clients across the country. I have small groups, which are limited numbers of membership in private Facebook groups. And then once a week, I do like a 30-minute live where I teach about the tools that got me where I am today. So we talk about positive self-talk. We talk about how to navigate the holidays. We talk about fitting in exercise and where to start. If you are obese, what should you be doing if everything hurts? So just addressing a huge range of topics, something different every week. And then once a month, in those groups, I do a Zoom meeting that is like a Q&A. So that's my small groups. Then I also have a large group, which is the most affordable. That one is $12 a month. And it is the same sessions, but it's live stream only. So it's not a private Facebook group. You don't have like ongoing support, not as much relationship, really, unfortunately, no like real personal connection with me. But that was the point, was to make it affordable for anyone.
Just good knowledge.
And so that is just the live stream only. So I'll go on my website, stream through my website, and just teach on this is how I was successful. This is what I'm doing. This is what worked. This is what didn't work. Here's how to get your mind right. Here's where to get started. So and I've built it into a business that I can support myself and my son, and I'm super proud of that.
That's amazing. Awesome. That's so dope. That's very similar to what me and David are trying to kind of steer ALG into being. So that's really cool. We'll definitely have some questions for you, Anthony. Yes. What about you, bud? I know that you're still involved with WW, but what are you doing outside of it? You got that podcast that I heard about once or twice.
So yeah, I do the WW Bro. I can't even say it now because I'm aggravated.
Just read it. It's right behind your head. Just read it.
WW Bro podcast. I do that live Monday nights, 8 p.m. on Facebook Live. You can watch the video, but as always, the podcast is available at www.podcast.podbean.com or on iTunes. But yeah, I'm still doing WW. I'm on MyFitnessPal. I track macros. I track calories. The more accountable I can be to myself really is the key right now, because you know, I'm struggling. I'll be honest. The last few months I've been struggling. It's just been, you know, the holidays are a tough time for me emotionally, and it's getting to me this year. So I gave in a little bit. I had a few bad weeks, but you know, I'm happy this week was like the first week back on track again, where I'm on target with everything, working out. You know,
Right.
got 4 workouts in this week. So I mean, it's back. And you know, not to, you know, I'll say something nice about John, but John really motivated me to get back in the gym. I see him posting all the time. You know, he's in the gym. Before, you know, we go out for cigars a lot, and he goes to the gym before. So there's no reason that I can't go to the gym before or something like that. And just seeing him, that he's no matter what. And I use the excuse, like, I don't want to wear a mask. I don't want to do this. My knee hurts, everything. But there's other things you can do. There's a million other things like I can do in the gym. And what it also does for me, it's a stress reliever. And that's, I think, why I started going, you know, back towards my old ways, was that, you know, it's a crazy time for everybody. And, you know, most of us sitting in the house and looking at the walls, and there's only so many times I can watch, you know, the Notebook before I want to eat.
I was so
10
intrigued on
bagels.
what word you were gonna say, who you were gonna say.
Oh,
That
I
was
love
not what I was expecting.
Love the Notebook. Well, you know, I want to go back to high school and eat, you know, bagels with cream cheese and
Barbecue chips on it. Yeah, I know.
chips on it. Yeah. So like, you know, I'm just really, what I'm doing is just literally taking it, like, I know it sounds cliche, but like day by day, and just, you know, trying to, you know, just be accountable to myself and live a healthy lifestyle and, you know, lose the weight I have to lose.
Anthony, I'm always super impressed at how honestly you share your journey, and you really don't hold anything back. And when you're struggling, you tell people, and you know, the ups, the downs, just all of it. You always share so authentically, and that has always been so impressive to me. So
Thank you.
I
I have no life, so I mean, I feel like, no, I'm kidding.
That's why I love you, Ant. You keep it real. You keep it a buck.
I do. Well, when I started the podcast, I said to myself, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do it. And a big influence on that, I'm a big Howard Stern fan. And if you read Howard's books, when he first got it started, he said when he wanted to do what he wanted to do as far as his show, he said he can't hold anything back.
And
So
he didn't.
And he
No,
didn't.
yeah.
But
He
you know, and then look,
did.
he just signed a $1 billion deal at, you
Right.
know, to work
Sirius
3 days a
XM.
week,
Yeah.
5 days, you know, and he hardly ever works at that place, but he's got a $1 gajillion. And
Yeah.
so like, but that's what I kind of did that. I'm like, I can't hold anything back, because that's what I do with stand-up too. My stand-up is very autobiographical. If something happens to me in life, it will be on stage. So when I started the podcast, I also, again, if there's somebody sitting at home like myself, that's like, I don't know what to, I'm having these feelings, you could tune in and there's somebody speaking to you who you're like, you know, and those are the feedback I get. Like, oh my God, I felt the same way. I thought I was alone. And I've had people that have said to me, I live in a place where there aren't workshops, you know, there's no WW workshops near me. You're my workshop every week. Like, I tune in and I watch it. So that's why I can't hold back. I can't sugarcoat things. I can't say, well, hey, everything's great this week. I hit my points and, you know, I'm eating the pizza and I'm sprinkled on it. It's, yeah, I can't do that.
Put sprinkled on it.
Like Monday night was a tough podcast for me to do. I talked about my struggles, you know, what's going on. And it helps me as well, but you got to be, and I think anytime you're doing a journey like this, not just if you're doing a podcast or anything, but you got to be honest with yourself. And you got to, you know, if you're lying to yourself, that, you know, the only part you're hurting yourself. So
Truth.
I take that same mentality into doing my podcast and just being as open and honest. And, you know, there's some things I don't, you know, of course, everybody's got their private things they don't talk about, but like, as far as this journey, it's out there and it's for anybody to hear if they want to hear it.
So we're going to wind down the podcast now. We've been going for an hour and a half. I appreciate, you know, you guys making some time. David, before we wrap up and whatnot, do you have anything you would like to add or ask? If not, I'm going to go ahead and ask our normal questions for the end of the podcast.
I think this was phenomenal. I appreciate you guys being on here. Like, it was a good dynamic. It had its, oh my gosh, I was literally crying.
No, it was
That was
great.
hysterical.
It hit
drinks.
every mark.
Two
It hit every
drinks.
mark I thought it was going to hit. So
And so no, I honestly hit everything I want to talk about, and I appreciate you
Yeah.
guys hopping on here.
For real. All right. So Anthony, you've gotten the questions before because you've been on here before. So I'm gonna start with Lisa.
Oh, Lee
Lisa.
should go first. Absolutely.
Oh,
Let's be
absolutely.
gentlemen.
Yeah,
Let's be
of course.
gentlemen.
Let's be gentlemen.
Lisa, my first question for you. You ready?
I hope so.
Okay. If you
Do I
could
need
go,
like a buzzer? I'm scared right now.
no buzzers needed. There's really no rules attached. But if you could go back in time and talk to yourself right before you join Weight Watchers, what would you tell yourself? You have no knowledge of what's going to come.
Oh God, you're gonna make me cry. Oh shit. I think the most important thing is that I would just say, I would tell her you absolutely can and will do this. But you need to never give up. You need to never, ever, never give up. And that was the one commitment that I made to myself, was that regardless, like I'm just going to keep working at this until I get it, because if I stop working at it, I'm going to undo whatever progress I made. So I'm just not allowed to stop anymore. And that was kind of where I grabbed onto Unstoppable. So I think really I just would tell myself, keep going, and you have everything you need within you to do this. You just don't, it's like Dorothy in The Wizard of Oz. Like, you always had the power, you just didn't know it yet. So yeah, I would just tell her, you've got this.
I like that. All right. My last question for you is a 3-parter. If you could give anybody listening at home 3 solid pieces of advice, they don't have to be weight loss, they don't need to be about weight loss. What would those pieces of advice be?
3 pieces of advice. Yeah, I think never give up. Be honest with yourself. Be really honest with yourself. And build a team. Build a team around yourself. A smart team, an experienced team, a team who's been where you've been, a team who is where you are, that can. You need people that have been there, that have forged the trail, and you need people that are on the trail with you. So find your people and build your tribe.
I love that. Where can people find you on Instagram?
I am at lighter_Lisa on Instagram. You can also find me on my website, which is lighterlisa.com. Those would be the best 2 places.
And how can people get in touch with you for coaching?
For coaching, you can read all about it on my website on lighterlisa.com. And you can also, I answer every single DM myself. I have no unanswered DMs on Instagram. It consumes my entire life. So if you need to reach out to me, I will respond to you myself.
Same. Well, thank you, Lisa. I really appreciate you coming on.
Thank you so much for having me. This has been super fun.
And I appreciate you answering all our questions. Before we go, Anthony, you're up, buddy.
Okay.
If you could go back in time and talk to yourself right before you met John Arpino. No, if you could go back in time and,
Run.
Yeah. Don't answer this.
If you go back in time and talk to yourself right before you joined Weight Watchers, what would you tell yourself?
I would just want to go tell that guy, one, I want to thank him for having the courage to make that decision again, to walk back in, and just let him know that it's going to be tough. It's going to be hard. You're going to go through moments where it's going to seem absolutely impossible, but just if you push through it, it's going to be so worth it. Just stick with it. And the same thing, don't give up. Just keep going forward with it.
And also give me those 3 nice pieces of advice, those solid ones.
Like I always say, keep moving forward, because I don't like to look in the, you can't worry about what happened yesterday. It's done. It's over. Move forward with it. And then 2 pieces of advice I'll give you. One's from my parents, one from my dad. He always said the time's going to go by anyway. So what are you going to do with it? And my mom always said, in this life, you're never too old to do anything.
I love that.
Yeah.
Where can people find you on Instagram and Facebook?
You can find me at Comic Anthony D on Instagram, and Facebook's my name, Anthony D. Domenico. You can find me there.
And where do we find the WW Bro podcast?
You could find that at www.podcast.podbean.com or on iTunes or any other place that podcasts are available.
Thank you very much for joining us for a second time, and I really appreciate it.
No
I
problem.
appreciate both you guys etching out some time for us today. Today was a really, really cool conversation. David, did you have a good time?
I loved it. I mean,
I thought it was really good.
I'm
That
going to
was good.
celebrate after this. I'm going to go put some house music on, make some lentil pasta, and have a blast.
Oh, you're not going to intuitively have something? No,
You got to
All right.
intuitive, man. It's,
I'm
Yeah,
gonna
you have to be
intuitively
intuitive.
feel hungry.
Lentil pasta that I got 17 bags for a trip from Rhode Island for.
Go fuck yourself. All right, guys. I want to thank you all for listening into another episode of the ALG podcast. If you are interested in being a part of our weekly community call, you can DM me or David on Instagram, and we'll give you the absolute free link. You join us every Wednesday night at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and you can listen to another brand new episode of the ALG podcast every Friday at noon.
Yeet.
Please like, share, subscribe, do that damn thing. Stay accountable, stay sexy, stay beautiful. David, please go watch another episode of Sopranos because you know it just gets better from there.
David,
If you
seriously,
don't, yeah, it's
what's your hang up about it? Why are you watching it?
No,
he
I
knows
am
it's
watching
good.
it.
It reminds him too much of me, and then he's like, "Wow, I get it."
I just can't believe Pussy just got killed.
Don't ruin it for people who haven't watched it yet. God damn it! All right, that's it. That's the end of the episode. Have a great
Here's what
rest of
happened in
your day.
Mandalorian. No, I'm kidding.